today we venture into the depths of a broken dream, a journey through despair, empathy, and unyielding resolve. Each of us has tasted the bitterness of hopes that crumbled, watching our brightest visions shatter into darkness. But within those fragments lie the seeds of repair. Each of us has tasted the bitterness of hopes that crumbled, watching our brightest visions shatter into darkness. But within those fragments lie the seeds of rebirth. Look around you, not with your eyes, but with your soul. Do you see it? The ruins, the smoldering remnants of what was. Great cities, mighty empires, dreams carved in stone, all can turn to dust. History whispers it, legends scream it, devastation is a relentless tide. And perhaps right now, that tide has crashed into your world. The job you poured your life into, the love you believed unbreakable, shattered. The future you meticulously planned, now a landscape of ash and uncertainty. Maybe you feel your security, your very sense of self, evicted from your hope. Or perhaps your devastation is quieter, more internal. Have you ever felt like the more you think deeply, the more isolated you become, that the more you understand, the less people want to listen? This too is a shattering, a dream of connection and understanding turning to the dust of solitude. This isn't just in your head. Society has often feared deep thinkers, not because they are wrong, but because they see what others don't want to. The mere presence of someone who thinks deeply can make others feel inadequate, reflecting back their limitations. And that silence you feel, it's often the sound of discomfort, of challenge. Schopenhauer, one of the most brutally honest philosophers, believed that intelligence itself could feel like a curse, one that isolates those who see the world too clearly. Most people, he argued, are driven by the will to live, seeking pleasure, comfort, survival, but the highly intelligent often develop the will to truth, an insatiable desire to understand reality, even if it leads to discomfort, even if it means standing alone. They see through the polite dishonesty, the status games, and crave depth where society often favors simplicity. History is filled with echoes of such transformations. For example, look at Socrates. Choosing truth over silence, even unto death, his unexamined life deemed not worth living. Galileo, shattering dogma with celestial observation, lived under arrest. His truth banned for nearly a century. Nietzsche dismissed as radical, his works misunderstood, now shapes modern philosophy. Tesla, dreaming of free energy and died forgotten, while others profited, yet his visions power our world. These minds and so many others saw their contemporary worlds turn to ash around their ideas. They were ridiculed, persecuted, or ignored. Their crime often simply being ahead of their time, their genius hitting a target no one else could yet see. But the question then arises, doesn't it? Why? Why is this clarity, this deep thinking so often met not with open arms, but with resistance, with silence, sometimes even with outright hostility? Part of the answer lies in what psychologists call the mirror effect. When you, the deep thinker, introduce a novel idea, you're not just presenting information unintentionally, you become a mirror, reflecting back the limitations, the unexamined beliefs of those around you, and few things provoke the human ego more than an unwelcome reflection of its own inadequacy. So it's often not your perceived arrogance they react to, it's that sudden, uncomfortable confrontation with their own intellectual status quo. Understanding that not every mind is ready for the light you carried, not every space is fertile ground for the seeds of your thoughts. Therefore, choose your confidants, your intellectual sparring partners with discernment. Seek out those other embers, those kindred spirits who also crave depths and authenticity, and learn to communicate your complex ideas with a compelling simplicity, as Einstein himself suggested, not to dilute their power, but to build bridges of understanding where such bridges can be formed. Comfort isn't merely psychological. It runs deeper, tapping right into our primal wiring. In fact, neuroscience reveals that when confronted with ideas that challenge deeply held convictions, or when feeling intellectually outpaced, the brain's fear center, the amygdala, can activate. Imagine that for a moment, your thoughtful perspective, your carefully reasoned insight, can trigger a primal survival response in others, as if they were facing an immediate physical threat. They aren't just disagreeing with your idea on a fundamental level, their very being might be recoiling from the discomfort of the unknown, the unsettling shift in their perceived reality. Now, take this inherent human tendency, this primal recoil, and imagine it supercharged by the environment we navigate daily. For in our hyper-connected digital age, this very dynamic is often amplified. And that genius, that variability to perceive what remains hidden to the masses, that is your ember. A fiercely burning coal of insight in a world that often prefers the cool, predictable comfort of conformity. That ember, that's you, the unbreakable core of the human spirit. Science calls it post-traumatic growth, the stunning reality that profound struggle can carve pathways to unimagined strength. Your brain right now, even in its sorrow, holds the power of neuroplasticity, the ability to rewire, to rebuild, to forge new roads through the desolate landscape of your pain. This isn't some hollow promise, some empty platitude. This is the raw, documented truth of our species. We are not built to merely survive the fire. We are built to rise from it, transformed. But that ember needs your action, not a monumental leap. Now, what is the smallest, almost insignificant stone you can move today? One breath, consciously taken, one phone call, one step outside your door, one word spoken against the silence. Don't think about rebuilding the entire city of your life in one day. That's the voice of overwhelm, the echo of despair trying to drag you back. Just focus on that one stone, that single defiant act. Because that act tells the universe, and more importantly, it tells yourself, I am still here, I am still fighting till I win. Every sunrise you witness after the darkest night is an act of cosmic resilience. Every wound that heals, every forest that regrows after a fire, they are testaments to this incredible force. And you are a part of that force. It is your birthright. That shattered dream does not define your end. It can be the brutal, beautiful beginning of who you were always meant to become. Society may resist intelligence when it challenges the norm, but it is these very deep thinkers who often push humanity forward. What is rejected today can become the cornerstone of tomorrow. Your unique insight, your clarity is not a flaw, it is a vital spark. And if you've ever felt alone in your thoughts, know you are not broken. You are simply seeing the world for what it really is. Society needs deep thinkers, even if it doesn't always know how to embrace them. Your depth is not a burden to be hidden, it is a unique strength to be honed. Communicate it wisely, find your tribe, however small. And remember, while society may fear what intelligence reveals, it is deep thinkers who illuminate the path forward. So I ask you, warrior, standing amidst your ruins, what is your next breath going to fuel? Despair or defiance? What is your next heartbeat going to declare? Defeat or the dawn of your resilience? The choice, that first small, powerful move, it's yours. Right now, take it, fan that ember. If today's story moved you, join us on Think of This and subscribe. Share your story in the comments and let's lift each other from the shadows. No matter how deep the fall, the human spirit endures. Keep moving forward and see you in the next struggle.